Welcome back to the Lady Flames Softball Podcast, where your Liberty team, they are the new CUSA regular season champions for the second year in a row. I mean, what a weekend, and they did it pretty early on, right, Tori?
Yeah, and I think you kind of expected that out of the gate. They not only scored early in the first game, but with Rachel Roop, that solo shot, she kind of set the tone for the rest of the weekend, and the bats, they just didn't stop.
Yeah, it was a crazy weekend when you consider Liberty was down in every single game of the series. I remember I was working the baseball game. I was like checking my phone every single time. I was like, oh my gosh, they're down. And then, of course, like I have to step away for an hour and I check back. I'm like, of course they came back.
I feel like that is what we expect at this point. We talked about in a couple of the losses how they hadn't scored until the 6th inning, but now you just never know.
Yeah.
I mean, it can never know when the rally comes. It can be the 7th inning and they'll put on 4 runs and come out with a win. And I think that's what happens when you have those veterans and you have the big power that you have. Yeah. But they're also just so versatile. Yeah. So they'll get the lineup going, and then it's just that's it from there.
Yeah, so many different people stepping up to get those rallies going. But before we get into this past weekend series, I mean, let's just park on the fact that once again, they're regular season champions for their conference. This is Liberty's 9th regular season title all time, the 6th under Dot Richardson. They had a big streak in the Big South for a while. They had 2 ASUN regular season championships and now 2 Conference USA regular season titles. The first time Conference USA has had a back-to-back in-season conference winner since North Texas back in 2021. So honestly, they're just killing it right now, and it's fun to see, especially the way that this program has progressed under Coach Richardson in a new conference as well. I mean, Conference USA, it's a step up from the ASUN, and to see the way that they've just come in and transitioned so well, it's awesome to watch.
It hasn't mattered what conference they've been in. I know when they were in Big South, they were a huge rival with Radford, of course. And so everyone in the Big South was happy, you know, disappointed not to be playing Liberty because they're such a good opponent, but happy, you know, for their success to see them go out of the Big South after their wins in 2017 and 18. They move on, win again, move on, CUSA. And so really just packing that front half of the schedule has been so important for them. And you can tell with the coaching, just the development that these girls have had throughout the season. Every team that Coach Richardson has is going to be a championship team by the end of the season.
Yeah. And yeah, you talked about that like front loading in the beginning of the year with all those tough opponents. And when they went into conference play, I mean, it was like they had a fire under them, and I mean, they swept opponents left and right. And then like as the season's gone on, you've seen a little bit of, hey, we might drop a game here, drop a game there. That's going to happen as the season goes on. But it was cool to see like that initial fire that came out of that difficult non-conference schedule. And now, you know, you got to hope that it's going to continue to burn up until postseason, because this is the time that we've been waiting for, Tori, is the postseason play to see what Liberty can do.
You know that the girls are waiting for that. You know that Coach Richardson is waiting for that. We've talked about all of the records that these girls have been breaking, these historic stats, and just their season overall. But I think more than anything, they're hunting the championship because we've talked about it. That super regional, that's really what they're going after first. And so I think beyond Conference USA, that regional, super regional, they every single day have that bigger picture in mind.
When you were playing, did you ever get really antsy at this time of year when you have like 1 or 2 regular season series left and the postseason is right there? Do you just want to get there?
Yeah, I think there's a whole nother energy. Like as soon as you walk into the tournament, because you get off the bus, everybody unloads, you start unpacking your stuff, but usually the teams get there way before the fans do. So there's almost like this silence and this tension, and then when everyone starts rolling in, you're playing for crowds way bigger than you have all season. And for Liberty, if they come out of Conference USA, that, which I think we've seen they probably will, that regional could be massive. And so each time that tension is just going to grow. And you've seen, especially Rachel Roop, KK Madry, all of these girls, they live for the big moments.
Yeah. Tori, I'm just hoping that regional is somewhere nearby so that we can go and support
I'm hoping it's in Blacksburg.
Yes.
I'm not going to lie. I hope it's in Blacksburg.
That would be so epic. That would be so cool to see. So let's unpack this past weekend series a little bit further. So game 1, they were down late. Liberty trailed 2-1 heading into the 5th. And then Rachel Roop, though, she had a 2-run homer that really kind of set them ahead and closed the door on what La Tech was doing there. I mean, she went 2 for 4 with 2 homers, 3 RBIs, 2 runs scored overall on the day. An unreal showing in day 1, but you kind of expect it from Rachel Roop at this point. You read a stat line like that and you're like, oh, how can you expect something like that? But you read it and you're like, man, she didn't knock my socks off because I know she's so capable of it.
And I think what they really did so well, of course, she was able to do it with no runners on, but because this lineup was able to consistently get on base, pitchers weren't able to throw around Roop, right? So they can't walk in a run, so they're forcing themselves close to the plate, and it was anything close. Yeah. Anything close to her wheelhouse, and she was taking you out of the yard. Yeah. And that is awesome for Roop.
Yeah, and then game 2, we transitioned to our Savannahs. Our Savannahs had a great weekend, Tori. I know we want to talk about them. Savannah Watley, 4 for 4, 2 RBIs, 2 runs scored, and we didn't even know if she was going to play going into this series.
She got banged up, and of course, she wasn't playing shortstop this past weekend, and so we didn't know, of course, like you said, that she was going to be there, but her bat was hot and her wheels were on, and so as soon as Savannah Jessie would get on, we knew that she was coming through, and she was working gap to gap, but she was taking good, aggressive swings. She was squaring the ball up well, and it was like she took no weekends off at all, no whatsoever. Just seamless.
Yeah, super seamless. And like you said, you know, Savannah Jessie, 2 hits on the day. Savannah Woodard, 2 hits on the day. And then Savannah Watley, 4 for 4. What a day for that group. And then game 3, that was the late game rally, okay? So Liberty, they were down 3-2, and they turned it into a 6-3 victory. You know, they just had to leave you hanging for that last game. They had to make you sweat a little bit. But really, this was the KK Madry game. It was when she broke that record by Katie Savadny. She had 3 steals. Her 5th 3-steal game of the season. It was also her 5th 3-hit game of the season. So she had quite a day. And, you know, I feel like KK Madry goes out there and she's like, hey, I have 3 steals left. Or I don't even know if it was 3 left at that point. But she had a certain number left, and she was like, I'm just going to go for it. And no one's going to stop KK Madry in the base pass at this point in the year. And we've talked about her confidence, and we can see everything that she does out there. And a really cool moment to see her reach that goal in her final season.
And it was awesome because when you were watching the broadcast, you could hear that Liberty dugout and some of the Liberty fans. I don't think a lot of people knew, but everyone from LU knew because she has been hunting this for a while. Yeah. I think everybody, there was so much tension going into it, thinking this is going to be the weekend. And so you could see, you know, when she got on second, just kind of that breath of relief. You could tell she was excited, but also just like, I did it. You know, it finally happened. It's done. And I think for her, she just continued to break it open. It didn't matter what the count was. She battled through those at-bats, and her ability to get on base is unmatched.
Oh, it's crazy. She's one of the conference leaders in OBP, I think top 3, if not the top in the entire conference. But, yeah, I mean, if you're a base coach, you know, you just got to give her the go-ahead at that point to take a bag. You can't really stop her and be like, no, KK, don't steal it. And you're like, I'll just go for it.
Yeah, it's funny because you'll see signs and you're just like, okay, yeah, KK's stealing. We already knew that. And then, of course, the opposing coach, they're going to try to get the replay. I don't know how many times that they've tried to
challenge it.
To challenge it, and you're like, Coach, no, I'm sorry. Like, good try, but she's just that quick.
She's just there. You can't do anything about it. But also, we just take a look at her season stats. It's really something cool to see just the way that every single statistic has improved for her this season. Her batting average, her on-base percentage, her runs, her hits, her RBIs. She cut her strikeouts in half compared to last season. She's getting on base in any way that she can, and then when she does get on base, she's taking extra bases as well. Like, she's just become the ultimate weapon, the Swiss Army knife for this Liberty team.
And I think really she's able to battle on both halves of the plate. So before if she's slapping, a lot of times it's really hard to cover that outer edge of the plate or adjust to that off speed. But I think like every single aspect of hitting, whether it's slapping or whether she knows, hey, I've gone 0 for 2 today, I'm going to lay a bunt down.
Yeah.
Not saying that happens very much for her, but she, in situations where the entire team has struggled to hit, she's able to lay a bunt down for a hit, and I think that has been a game changer.
Yeah, it's crazy. And her 44 stolen bases, the most by a Conference USA player since 2019. Madison Palmer had 48 in that year. But again, congratulations to KK for reaching that Liberty program record, surpassing Katie Zavodny's program record for stolen bases in a single season. Awesome to watch. She's just a fun player to see. And you talk about this push to the postseason now. You just came off a weekend where you battled back in all 3 games. That's got to make your confidence go to a new height, knowing that we can win in so many different ways. But at the same time, you also want to be careful when you get down in those kind of situations. What do you think is Liberty's biggest strength heading into this postseason run, and then maybe their biggest weakness?
I think their biggest strength is the pass the bat mentality.
Mm-hmm.
I've said it a couple times, but I think their situational hitting when they know, okay, I have to get a runner in scoring position. So I'm going to be looking for a ball on the outer edge. I'm going to be going backside. You can tell before these girls get to the plate, they have a game plan.
Mm-hmm.
And I think their softball IQ and their just composure in the box is what makes that consistent hitting in those clutch moments.
Yeah.
And I think them getting rolling. And then on the other end of things, I think you obviously want to see them get on the board earlier because they're putting a lot of pressure on their pitching staff. And so I would say, you need to get on the board early and take that pressure off, but also you can't walk runners into scoring position. And I think we've seen that too. That's when the pressure is on. That's when you get teams rallying back. But I think you really have to find the strike zone when runners are on. I think fine-tuning that a little bit for each of these pitchers on the staff, that's going to be big in the postseason.
Yeah, I mean, their batting stats, when you compare it to the rest of Conference USA, they're like 1 through 3, if not number 1 in almost every single statistic. But when you get down to the pitching, that's where Liberty stats-wise has been down middle of the pack, if not a little bit lower, and same thing with fielding stats as well. But you know that this team, they've shown so many times that they can make up for some other weaknesses with their efficiency at the plate. But then again, you look to where, like, we know that a Conference USA title is not their ultimate goal this season. They want to make it to a World Series, So that's where our other areas, man, we got to start thinking about fine-tuning those as you hit this big stretch here.
And I think when you look at Escobar, Bachman, Yoder, some of the most talented pitchers in the Conference USA, you've just got to be able to command in the strike zone. And when they do that, they've been untouchable. Yeah. So I think you focus on that, you clean up some of the defense. But they were pretty fortunate this weekend. La Tech, 7 errors.
Yeah.
So they do capitalize when other teams make mistakes like that, especially on the base paths. But when they get into this postseason, there are going to be teams that do what they do.
Yeah.
That are good on the base paths, that take advantage, and so they've got to clean it up.
Yeah, and then you talk about what La Tech did as well. They did hold their number 1 hitter, Nicole Hamoud, to practically not much at all on the weekend. I think she might have had 2 hits, maybe a little. Honestly, I'm not sure if it was any more than that from reading the stats, but good to see them be able to tame a weapon like that at the plate. Honestly, like you mentioned, La Tech did have a lot of errors, but they weren't that efficient at the plate as well. So it was a good weekend overall for the pitching staff. I know Paige Bachman had a really great performance. Elena Escobar threw a complete game, did a nice job out there. So again, like they have the tools to do it. It's just about that execution.
One La Tech hitter that really impressed me this weekend was Reagan Marchant. 5 RBIs on 2 homers. Her violent swing, as soon as she came into the box, you knew that if she made contact, it was going to go.
Yeah.
So she's got that bat head pointed towards the pitcher, that whip through the zone. She's got a leg kick. I loved seeing her confidence in the box against Liberty, and I think they've really got to build off of that.
Yeah, And we'll get to our Conference USA standings and all that in just a second, because there's been really big shakeups in the past couple weeks or so, Tori. But before we get to that, we want to talk to one of our contributors on the weekend, Rachel Craine. We got to speak with her just a moment ago. Well, awesome now to be joined by Rachel Craine herself. Rachel, great to have you here. How are you doing?
Good. How are you guys?
Good, doing well. Okay, so the last time we were here, we had Brooke Roberts on. And she said if she could have anyone on a desert island, she would choose you because you guys are like little boys and can do anything. Can you elaborate on that?
Yeah, we just know how to like do a lot of like men work, I guess. Like we're not afraid to like learn new things, and you know, a lot of the like my teammates always need help with like their cars and stuff, so I'm always like right there to help her. Same with Brooke. Yeah, so we're just like like little boys. Like we like to, you know, go shooting in our free time, like do stuff like that. So
well, how'd you learn like the car work and all that? Where'd you get that from?
My dad and my brother, they were always like working on their cars, and I was just like always sitting in the garage like watching. Yeah. So like I have a twin, and like we're completely different. So like I would like sit out there and like just learn how to do things, and my dad would always be like, one day you're gonna like be glad that you know how to do all this, and I'm like, no, I'm not. And like now I really am glad I know how to do all it. Yeah.
Well, it's like, are you the one that if one of your teammates gets a flat tire at like midnight, are you the one they call?
Yes, that's happened like twice. And one time like Bryn, her car like wouldn't start, and she was like crying, didn't know what to do, and I was like, I'll come and fix it. And it was like pouring down, sleeting. I was like, so I fixed it for her. But yeah, it's just like, you know, I just want to help them out any way I can. So yeah.
Yeah. I love that.
That's so cool. I know we say like women in male fields, but you're just completely changing like the idea of that. I mean, who needs a man?
You're doing it all.
You've got
literally.
a friend.
Exactly.
Yeah. That's so good. So also, you have a twin sister.
Yeah.
Tell me about her. What is she up to?
So she is a hairstylist back home. So yeah, she does that. She played softball like all the way up until her senior year of high school, and then just realized that she didn't want to play in college, and she really liked to like do hair and stuff. So she was like, hey, I'm gonna go to cosmetology school, and she did that. So yeah, it's nice because when I go home, I'm like, hey, can you dye my hair? And then like if I don't like it, I just go back the next day and she fixes it. So, yeah, it's
that's
nice.
So good.
Yeah.
Oh, so her senior year of high school. Did you guys play together on the same teams and everything?
Same high school teams, not the same travel ball team.
Okay.
We did when we were little, and then we just split ways because she liked one team more than the other, so we just split. Yeah. But
yeah. Okay.
How was that dynamic on the field for you guys?
It was good. I mean, she was a catcher, so I played shortstop in high school. So yeah, it was good. You know, if she would like make a bad throw, I would like be like, dude, come on. Or like if one time like I dropped a ball and she was like so mad at me, and I was like, okay.
Like the throw was on the bag.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, and I was like, all right, Renee, it's fine.
Yeah. That's so funny. So where did that whole softball passion come from for your family? Did your dad play baseball? What happened there?
My parents did not play any sports.
Okay.
Yeah. So my brother, he's 16 months older to the day, and he kind of like taught us how to play, I guess you would say, like, because I'm actually like a lefty, so like I don't play left-handed, and because he taught me how to play. So it just like, I was like, yeah, I mean, I'll learn how to play, whatever. I was just out there like having a catch, and then I ended up like loving it, and then I was 9 when I started. So yeah, it was just, I don't know. He was like, hey, you want to have a catch? And I was like, sure. And then, yeah, history.
When people found out that you were actually left-handed, did anyone try to convert you over to the left side?
No, they didn't. I think more because like I've always loved defense so much, and like I knew I wanted to play infield, so you know, the only really position you can play is first, and I didn't want to do that. So I just stayed right-handed. I could have easily, like, when I was young, learned how to hit left-handed, but I just never did. Maybe I should have. I don't know.
Maybe. Okay. I mean, there's always still time to get in the cage. I mean, see if you can switch.
Yeah. You know, yeah.
Literally. Just so you fix cars, you're ambidextrous, you have a twin sister. We're learning a lot here. That's awesome. So when did, you started when you were 9. I mean, that's a lot later than a lot of people start. You didn't have your T-ball days or anything like that. When did you kind of discover, man, I'm really good at this and I can take it to the next level?
I would say, when I was, 12, that's when I, was obsessed with it. I was like, I literally love this. So I guess 12, I don't know, I just was like, I never want to stop playing. That's just always what I said. So that was just always the goal. I was just like, I'm never gonna stop. And my mom was like, okay, we're not gonna stop you. So yeah, I definitely loved it more than my siblings did.
Okay.
My brother, he was into baseball a lot, but then after high school, he just, like, went into work or whatever. But, like, yeah, I don't know. I just never wanted to stop, so.
When you were growing up watching upper-level competitive softball, was there a team that you followed or a certain level that you watched? I
mean, I kind of watched, like, you know, college, everything, but really, like, my travel ball coach, Renee Lynch, she, like, was, like, I don't know, I guess you would say, like, my mentor in life, and just, like, watching her, seeing, like, what she did. She played at Troy, and she was a middle infielder. So, like, I don't know, she just really, like, took me under her wing, and that was just, like, that was it, yeah. So her, I would say, yeah.
Do you think being a middle infielder and getting that background made your hands and just your, like, awareness on the field even better to be a corner?
Yeah, I would say so, just because, like, playing the middles, you have to have, you know, quick hands and good transition. So I would just say, like, definitely, like, if I would have kids, she would be a middle infielder, because that way you can really learn how to play every infield position when you start in the middles. So it's just easier instead of, like, oh, I play third base and let me try to play second base or shortstop. So, yeah, I would definitely say start in the middles.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's good advice.
Yeah. So when did third really become your thing?
Well, I never played third until my sophomore year. They were just like, let's try it. And then, because, you know, there was, like, an injury, and then, like, I had to get moved from second to third. So then I was like, okay, I'll try it. Like, I wasn't, you know, scared or anything. And then, like, after I tried it, I never got moved back. Like, they just kept me there.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's definitely, like, I wouldn't say it's really different, but it's just, like, you have to have good reaction. And if you don't have good reaction, like, it's not going to be good. But really, that's the only difference, is you just have to, you know, be quick and have good reactions and good first steps. But that's it, yeah.
We've seen a lot of crazy good plays from you. Is there one in your mind that sticks out in particular throughout the years of you playing third?
Okay, this fall was, like, we talk a lot about, like, visualizing and stuff. And, like, I remember we were playing at UVA this past fall, and I was playing third. And it was a close game, and there was runners on first and second, and there was 2 outs. And Coach Fagan called time, and I, like, was just, like, standing there, and I, like, shut my eyes, and I literally visualized a ball down the line, and I dove, fielded it, and tagged the base. And literally the next play it happened. And then I remember, like, being so pumped up. I was like, I went to Coach Dot, and I was like, Coach Dot, I just visualized that, and it happened. And she was like, this is great. Like, she was so hyped for me. I was like, because, you know, like, obviously when you visualize stuff, like, it's hard to make it happen, you know, like, in real life. And, like, it did happen. And then I was like, oh, this is insane. So definitely that play, even though it wasn't really in season. It was a fall game. But that's one, like, I probably won't forget. Yeah.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
I remember in college in the outfield, I had an assistant coach. She would have us at times lay down in the grass and visualize ourselves robbing home runs.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember the infield would always look out there in the middle of a drill and
You're
be like, what are they doing laying out there?
Yeah.
But it does.
Yeah.
It works.
It does.
So you're just talking about Coach Dot, and Brooke Roberts told us some pretty funny Coach Dot stories. Is there anyone that sticks out for you? I mean, you've been here since 2022 now. Anything that's in your mind?
I mean, there's a lot. There's a
Yeah.
lot. But I don't know. Just, like, she, like, dances at, like, the most, like, you know, just, like, not a time to dance. And it's just, like, funny. Like, even in February, we were down in Florida, and we all had ESPN interviews. And she's like, gets out of the tent, or is about to go in the tent, and she just starts, like, dancing. Like, doing, like, I don't even know what the dance were called. I don't dance. But she was, like, just walking up and down the rocks, like, doing the gritty or whatever. And it was just, like, everyone was staring, and she just doesn't care. She's just, like, don't care. Like, this is her, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So just, like, stuff like that. And just, like, there's always ice cream runs. And I remember one time, my sophomore year, it was just me and Dev and a couple other people went to get ice cream with Coach. And she was just, like, jumping up and down, like, trying to read all the ice cream flavors, and, like, it was just started dancing, and I was just like, dude, this is crazy. It's just fun. There's never a dull moment with her ever.
Yeah, you're like, you're cut off from the ice cream. It's too
She
much.
loves sweets. Oh my gosh, it's crazy.
That's so good. So I know you went to a Christian school in Delaware. Was Liberty kind of always a school that was on your radar because of the Christian connection, and like, how did it all shape up for you?
Well, actually, I was committed to a Division III school in Virginia, And that's just like my senior year, I really realized that like I was not, but I was like too talented to go that low, honestly. So who I talked about earlier, Rini, she really helped me, and she kind of like got the connection here. She's like always loved Dot, and so she helped me out there. But yeah, I was committed. I committed young, and I don't know what grade it was, but it was young to go to Virginia Wesleyan, and then I realized, that wasn't where God wanted me to go. There's just like things that, weren't working out for me. So then literally 2 weeks before whatever registration happened for classes and stuff, I reached out. I reached out, and the rest. Then like literally a week later, Coach Fagan came and watched me play, and then the next day I came on a visit, and then I committed.
Wow.
So it's like
all
crazy.
right before freshman year.
Yes, this was all my senior year, like 2 weeks, like the summer coming into freshman year.
That's
here.
incredible.
Yeah.
Who did you get paired up to live with, since it was so chaotic at the time?
It was.
Is she still here?
No, she's not. She's transferred out. Lex Soto, she was my dorm roommate.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
So.
Gotcha. Oh my gosh, that's crazy. Like a week before, especially going on a visit the very next day.
Yeah, it was like an unofficial. I didn't even meet Dot until the first practice. Like
No
I
way.
just met her on the phone.
Yeah.
Oh my
We
goodness.
talked. Well, she talked to my mom for like an hour about the Lord. It was it was great. I mean, it's just like a huge God moment, just seeing what He did in my life just to get me here. So yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And that recruiting process, I mean, it's so tricky, but kind of talk about figuring out your talent and trying to navigate where to play, what level. How hard can that be for players?
Yeah, it is really hard, especially like when you have a really high worth ethic and you're working with other players around you, like in my tribal organization, and just seeing like how much I wanted it, and just seeing like a lot of the other girls, wanted it to do other things at school, and I literally wanted to go to college just to play softball, and I was like, I'm ready to commit to something it's going to be hard. Like I'm going to have a lot of trials, but like I just was willing to do it because I knew that, this is where the Lord wanted me to be. And I also remember like watching Liberty when I was young, and I was like, Mom, like that's so cool. Like I would love to go there, and it's just like, it's really cool just to see like everything come into place when you like have no idea what you're doing. Like I remember decommitting, and I was like, I might have to take a gap year. Like I do not know what's gonna happen, but I was just willing. I was willing to work so hard to get to where I am today. So yeah.
That's awesome. Delaware's not too far away. Did the parents get to come down and watch you play a lot?
Yeah, they did, and they still come. For my senior day a couple weeks ago, my whole family came. It's only like 5.5, 6 hours away. If you leave at a good time. If you leave at a wrong time, it's like 8 hours of traffic. Yes. That DC traffic. Awful.
And throughout the years, I mean, I remember when you got here, your first home run was the Grand Slam against Arkansas. Has there been anything that has topped that moment?
Like as a team, yes, but like individually, probably, I don't know, probably that moment was so long ago, I feel like. The walk-off against Clemson was a nice feeling. And then just like, it's more like team things, like beating Georgia last year, that was insane. And then the UCLA regional, that was fun. Just, we've had a lot of good moments, beating Bama. I don't know, it's just like we're so pumped because we were so close last year for Supers, and it's just like a lot of the seniors are just like, we're so ready, and I'm so excited for postseason. I love postseason. It's so different. It's just different.
Do you get kind of antsy at this time of year, like when you're just a couple weeks away, and do you just kind of want to be there already?
I feel like no, but like in the beginning of the season, I'm very like antsy just because, there's like a lot of pressure. I don't like the beginning of the season. I don't enjoy preseason, but postseason is so fun, and I wouldn't say I'm antsy. I'm just like, I'm ready, and like we're prepared. So yeah.
And we had talked to Paige Dorr a few weeks ago, and she said when she first got to Liberty, like it was clear that the standard was extremely high, and there was like no other option than like, we're going to a super regional, we're going all the way. Could you kind of explain from a senior's perspective what that mindset was like in the preseason, just knowing that, man, I've been so close all these years, and we're going to go out of this season?
Yeah, I just think like we came in, like, knowing that we're not going to have any regret. Like, we have always struggled in the beginning of the season, and I think that, like, set a standard for us, like, doing so good in preseason as, like, a team standpoint. And I don't know, I just think that, you know, we weren't going to go through, like, the same, you know, path that we've gone down the last couple of years I've been here. So we were just, like, determined, and we were just willing to play for each other. And I just think that's been carrying along, like, all throughout the season, just knowing that, like, we felt like last year it was, like, the worst feeling ever. Like, a lot of us were like, I would have rather, you know, and not been that close. It was just, like, it's a crazy thing to think about, 1 out away, you know, like, but I don't know, we're just, like, I don't care where they put us. Like, if we, you know, make it to regionals, I don't like to think past, you know, conference, but, like, I don't care where they put us. Like, we're going to freaking do our best to beat them. So, I don't know. It's just, like, yeah, I don't really know. It's just, we're just excited, and we're not, I wouldn't say none of us are, like, nervous for it. A lot of us have been there before, so, yeah, we're ready.
Yeah, and that helps a ton.
Yeah. Kind of walk me through being in that moment and how that drives, like, your postseason and your off season. What does training look like after those big moments when you're trying to get back?
Yeah, I would just say, like, it's going to be hard, especially a lot of us, like, a lot of us have, like, little injuries and stuff, but, like, we have to find a way to, you know, do specific lifts that are going to help us in, like, you know, rotational stuff and stuff like that. And, like, our strength coach does a great job with, like, helping us. Like, I have, like, a back injury, and he, like, helps me through it, like, every day, like, in the gym. Like, if I can't deadlift, he's going to find something else for me to do. So just, like, little stuff like that, like, just don't, like, oh, I can't do this, so I'm not going to do it. Like, find something else to do that's going to benefit you on the field, you know? So, yeah.
Yeah. And then we look at this past weekend against La Tech, and you guys are down in every single game, but you find a way to battle back and win handily in some of them as well. Could you just tell me what you feel like the biggest strength of this year's group is? Because you've done that so many times, come back late, rallied, pulled it off. What do you feel like is the biggest strength?
Yeah, I think we've always done that here. I feel like if we get down, we find little ways to, like, win each pitch. And even if we're not, like, it doesn't look like we're doing that, like, deep down we are, like, little quabs and stuff like that. But I think a lot right now the coaches are really talking to us recently about, like, playing for, you know, someone specific, like, on the team and not for yourself. And I think that, like, changes the game a lot. Like, a lot of the times we can get so into ourselves and, like, oh, I struck out looking, like, blah, 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 but really, like, I'm not playing for myself. Like, I'm going to play for Roop, or I'm going to play for Brooke, or I'm going to play for KK, like, something like that. It's just, like, really important for us to, you know, we've been working on it these last couple weeks, and, like, especially going into postseason now, that's going to be the best thing for us, and that's what's going to help us be successful, is playing for one of your teammates, so.
And I feel like you could see that in Game 3 and you're at bat when you took the ball down the right field line and really broke things open. Can you talk about that moment in Game 3 for us?
Yeah, I feel like this weekend I kind of struggled a little bit with runners on base, but sometimes I just, you know, got to get out of myself, just like I was talking about. So I was just like, I don't care if this pitch is inside. Like, I've been struggling with inside pitches all weekend, but, like, I'm taking every pitch to right field, and that was my approach. And I did that, so that was a good feeling. I mean, we just run one run, but it, I mean, definitely broke it open and gave us some momentum. So, yeah, just little things like that, just winning each pitch. And, you know, if you're struggling, like, find a new thought. So I was just like, I'm taking it to right field because she's beating me in, but I'm still going to take it to right field. So, yeah, that's what I did.
And the ability, I think a lot of people don't realize, to take an inside pitch down towards the corner, towards the fence, that's impressive. So awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, it is. I don't think it was that inside. I would have to watch it again. It was like middle in, but still, it wasn't like an outside pitch. But yeah.
No, you're rocking it. And so I also read about you that your favorite possession is your glove, and you don't let anyone touch your glove. Is this like just the glove you're currently using, or is it like all of them?
Like, my mom is like the sweetest thing ever, and she loves DIY projects. So she made me this hook, like, in my room, and it holds all of my gloves on it. So, like, all of my gloves up until it was my freshman year of high school, and that was when I like really was like, I love gloves. Like,
Yeah.
I love them.
Yeah.
So up until then, like, they're all on a hook. And then even here, all of the, whatever, was it 4? Yeah, 4. That's crazy. 4 gloves I got here, you know, they stay in my locker, and, like, people know not to touch my gloves. Like, if a manager needs my glove, like, they won't even try to go and grab one of my gloves. Like, no.
That's so funny.
It's bad. Like, I love them. And, like, I like to tighten them. Like, I like to, I don't know. Like, after I'm done playing, I'm going to try and, like, learn how to, like, relace them just because it'll give me something, like, fun to do. So, yeah, I want to learn how to do that. But I've just always loved defense, and I believe that if you treat your glove right, it'll treat you right. So I just have always treated my gloves right.
Okay, did you guys ever see The Game Plan, like the movie with The Rock and Matt Pettis? It's like, you know, the guy with the golden underwear? Like, that's like you with your gloves.
Yes, it is.
That's it.
No one touches it. Okay, I love that.
If you took, like, Liberty colors aside and you can design your own glove, what are you writing on it? What colors? Like, what combination are you creating?
Honestly, it would probably just be something neutral, just because I love, like, the way, like, tan and whites look. So probably just neutral. Like, some people would be like, all pink. No. Like, I don't want to. No. It would just be very neutral. Like, the glove I have this year is definitely my favorite I've made this year. And then, like, I had a gray one my sophomore year that I loved. But I don't know. I probably wouldn't do anything crazy. Maybe, like, a little... it really would just be, like, I love gray and, like, whites and neutrals together. Like, I had one glove that was, like, white, red, and gray, and it was, like, okay. And that was my freshman year, and I was like, I need to step my game up. So I really stepped my game up with that.
That's so good. Okay, a couple fun questions before we let you go. First of all, the NFL draft just happened. If you were to draft, like, let's say you're about to be drafted, okay? What position are you going at, and which team are you going to?
Well, okay, I'm not really big into football, so don't make fun of me, okay?
Okay.
But all I would want to do is, like, truck people. That's it.
Okay, we love that.
Yeah.
like
So
that.
what, defense?
Yeah.
Like a safety?
Yeah,
Yes.
I'd say you'd be a good linebacker.
Really?
Yeah, I think linebacker, you get to stop the run, then you get to go and drop back in coverage.
I would do any of that.
Yeah.
We were just
Or
talking
like
about
a
this.
cornerback.
Yeah.
Yes, something like that. Like, I just would, it would be a really good way to, like, get my anger out, I feel like.
That's good.
Like, I don't know. And I'm sure that if people from the football team watch this, they're going to be like, she has no idea what. But, look, I'm just saying it would be fun to truck people.
And are you going to the Ravens? Is that your team up in Baltimore?
I'll go to the Eagles. Yes.
Oh, no. Rachel.
I'm sorry.
We were going good until you said that.
Look, Philly teams, yes, that's.
Okay.
I live close to Philly, so I have to support.
I guess it's all kind of close.
But it's really, okay, it's more for me, like, I love the Phillies, okay,
Yeah.
but the Eagles, you know, I have to.
Yeah, are you a Bryce Harper, like, live and
No.
die for him? Okay.
He's way too cocky for me.
There we go, Rachel.
But yeah, I do love them, so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, good. I respect it. Now, you saw, like, the whole woman going to space recently, right? Do you believe it was real? Do you believe it happened? Because a lot of people were saying the door opened early and they think it was all fake.
I don't think you want me to get into this. You don't. No, I can't even. I don't know. I don't believe it. There's just no way.
There's no way. Okay, we have a strong...
I like that.
I like
stance.
to debate things.
Yeah.
Like, my dad's giving me that trait, and I will debate, like, and even Dot knows this about me, because, like, do y'all know the Enneagram test?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm an 8 on it. So, like, I'm fine with confrontation, like, and I'll debate things. Like, I don't see a problem with it. So, yeah, I would. We'll talk about that another day.
Yeah.
And if you're putting a team together, they had 6, but we're only going to give you 3 to choose. What 3 are you going to take to space?
And you're
If
going
you're
on, like,
putting
on
on
a
a
mission. You're on a
mission.
mission.
Yeah.
Okay, Brooke, and
Okay.
I would say I would probably take Broop, and I would probably take, probably Jesser.
Biggest
Okay.
assets to the team,
Yeah.
to your space mission.
Oh, what do you?
Yeah, like, what is
Like,
their...
what
what
is
are
what
they
are
gonna-
what
I
are their
would just
biggest
say, like,
assets?
I feel like we would work together well, you know, and we would be able to, like, create up a plan quick, and there wouldn't be so much, like, I'm scared, you know, stuff
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
Like, oh, well, what if this happens? Like, dude, we're going to space, so we just gotta roll with it. Like,
just
you know what
gotta
I
go.
mean? So definitely them. I just feel like they would, you know, we would help each other out. So, yeah.
I love that,
Problem
and I can
solvers.
see it.
Yes.
I
I
imagine
like that.
you four on a spaceship right now, that mission is getting solved. There's no way
Yes.
it's not getting accomplished.
Yeah, but that's definitely something that I will never be doing, so don't worry.
Yeah. But actually, never mind.
Yes, yeah.
I feel like the entertainment aspect too, like I feel like you guys could have a good time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You'd have fun.
Yeah.
It'd
Definitely.
be great.
Yeah.
Well, Rachel, thank you so much for joining us. We're so excited to see what you guys do the rest of the season.
Thanks for having me.
Yes. Well, great talking with Rachel Craine there. She's been a staple of this Lady Flames program for so long now in her senior season, but she's hoping to have a big run to end out her Liberty career. We hop into these Conference USA standings, take a look at how it's all shaping up. Liberty, again, has clinched the regular season championship, #1 in the conference, 20-3. What a conference number. But Tori, besides that, like Jack State, they've been making an incredible push. Like, what are the Gamecocks up to? They're doing something amazing.
Climbing the ladder, looking at their pitching staff, #2 in the conference, they've been super solid. Kat Carter, 2.45 ERA with 4 shutouts, 117 innings pitched. She has been super solid. They have 4 pitchers with a sub-3 ERA.
That's incredible. And I know in the past weeks we've been talking about, like, hey, these last 2 weekends, La Tech, FIU, these are 2 of the top dogs in the conference. I mean, they've taken some big hits. I know La Tech, it doesn't help when you lose 3 on the weekend, but FIU, they've plummeted all the way down to #7 in the conference. So what we were looking at potentially this last weekend was like 2 of the top dogs in the conference going at it, but now it's a 1 versus 7 matchup instead.
Yeah, I don't think that anyone saw this coming, and I think really it's been just trying to find that consistency throughout the season. You saw it with La Tech, a lot of defensive miscues. Their pitching, that has been really driving them so far. Allie Floyd leads this conference in innings pitched and strikeouts, and the Flames able to barrel it up. So I think, you know, when it comes down to postseason, you don't know who it's going to be, but it's that consistency, it's the will to win at the end, and that's what the Flames have done.
I know. They saw Allie Floyd twice in that La Tech series, and they were efficient both times, so that's encouraging to see from the Flames standpoint. Let's take a quick look at our upcoming schedule. I am so excited for Wednesday's game, Tori, against UVA. It's always such a great battle when these 2 teams match up. Like, I don't remember the last time it was just a blowout on one end or the other. The last time we saw them, it was a walk-off. Brooke Roberts walked it off in front of the Flames fans here. Now they're going up to Charlottesville. I expect it to be another great matchup, a late season battle, and you win a game like that and potentially could give you so much energy going onto a postseason run.
Yeah, I think the house is going to be packed for sure. I think when it comes to people on either side of the interstate, I think people are going to be swarming in. People are excited to see UVA and Liberty, Virginia Tech and Liberty. We've said it, but this state, oh my goodness, just the production that they've had towards the postseason and the talent that has been rolling in to this region is outstanding.
Yeah, I can't wait to see it. I wish that I could go up and watch the game myself, but other things call. But, I mean, yeah, the crowds are always unreal, and it's just 2 really great programs going at it. It's going to be a great game. And you mentioned it, too, Virginia being a softball state. Your girl, Corey McMillan, leading the nation in home runs right now. I mean, what's she up to? That's crazy.
25 home runs is ridiculous, but getting to see her last night finally get that recognition was incredible. If you guys didn't see it, last night was the Gobblers, which is the Virginia Tech sports athletic ceremony where athletes get achievements and recognized throughout the year. And the really cool thing is that the AUSL made an appearance, giving the second Hokie this year a golden ticket, Corey McMillan. Corey, congratulations. This Virginia Tech staff, I mean, it is impressive. You've got Emma Limley, Corey McMillan, and then you've got Bree Peck, who is leading in career home runs and RBIs. But back to McMillan, I mean, it's been an amazing season for her, an amazing career. And so it's awesome just to see the AUSL kind of drop in on the players and see that dream come true for them because, you know, it's just something that they've worked for their entire lives. And doing it at that ceremony was awesome. You could there were people in tears. The crowd was going crazy. So that was awesome for her.
Yeah, the emotions were amazing to watch, and what a cool story she's had. I mean, Radford over to Tech, and just the way that she's blossomed and dominated college softball this year. She's going to be a force to be reckoned with in the postseason. That entire Virginia Tech group is too. Really any team in the state of Virginia is right now. I mean, I'm so excited to watch what this Liberty team can do as we now approach the Conference USA stretch into an NCAA tournament run, hopefully. But Tori, I'm trying to think of the next time that we talk. It'll be after FIU series. I'm trying to think of the timing. When is the CUSA championship? It'll be right before the championship, I believe. So that'll be a fun one to preview. We can't wait for it, guys. The postseason's almost here. This World Series run, this super regional that they're trying to attain, it might happen soon.
You know, Coach is ready.
Yeah, Coach
is ready.
Here.
She's ready. She's talked about it. She's been living for the postseason.
Yeah.
And so we're pumped, and we're ready to see some fans packing out the house.
Yeah, we can't wait to see it. Thank you guys so much for watching the Lady Flames Softball Podcast.